Hello, and thank you for taking the Prove Macca Right survey. Here, we aim to prove Macca right in all of his endeavors, even when he knows he's wrong. Your first and only question: does Hi-Fi Rush look like a Japanese anime or an American cartoon? Your choices are: it looks like an American cartoon. It looks like a 2000s era American cartoon. It looks like a GameCube game that's visually based on Saturday morning cartoons. Made in America. Or, I'm a stupid doo-doo idiot head.
Yo, what is this game? Looks like a bunch of anime bullshit.
It looks like a cartoon! Are you kidding me, Owen?
Yeah, it looks like a cartoon, a Japanese cartoon. Anime is cartoons, you weeb.
You ever just find that one game? That one game that feels like it was made specifically for you? A game that literally comes out of nowhere and goes, "Hi, I'm here to fulfill that hole in your heart that you didn't know existed." A game that takes your favorite things and throws it all together in a way that works amazingly. What I'm getting at is, I literally came up with the idea for Hi-Fi Rush in college, and ever since I've wanted this game to be made. Take the gameplay of Devil May Cry, the musical rebellion of Jet Set Radio, the wit of Ratchet & Clank, and then tie it all together with an Edgar Wright themed beat meter to create one of the most fun and unique character action games I've ever played. Hell, I'd go as far as to say this could be Game of the Year material. In Hi-Fi Rush, you play as Chai, a wannabe rock star living in a cyberpunk world where the big corporation Vandelay rules. Chai has been selected to take part in Project Armstrong, a program that will allow people to receive cybernetic body parts. After his MP3 player falls into the machine with him, he gains the ability to feel the rhythm of the universe and is deemed defective. After being rescued by a girl named Peppermint and her robot cat 808, the pair team up to take down Vandelay and stop their greater plans for Project Armstrong. Okay, so up front, the story is fine. It's a character action game. Rarely are the stories in this genre good, let alone great. But Hi-Fi Rush isn't trying to be anything more than what it is. It feels like a classic Ratchet & Clank story. A fun and funny romp with good characters filled to the brim with biting corporate satire. The main cast is a lot of fun, if a bit one note. Chai is an idiot rockstar wannabe, Peppermint is a hot-headed smart girl, Macaron is a gentle giant, and Cinnamon is useless but very enthusiastic. Don't expect a lot of depth going into this. What matters is that they're likable and fun, and in that respect they nail it. The villains are also fun and surprisingly varied. You get anything from the pro wrestler themed Rekka to the egotistical JoJo posing Zanzo. My favorite was easily the head of security Corsica. She's hot and also Scottish. Mommy. The presentation is immaculate. Fantastic art direction, like an American cartoon drawing from comic books. Yeah, and there's some anime influence here too. Cutscenes, both 2D and 3D, are amazingly animated with perfect lip syncing and lively movements that add to each character's personality. Character designs are good, but there's something off about them that keeps me from loving them. I don't know if it's the colors or how busy they are or what. I do like how Macaron looks like Jet Set Radio just stole Barrett from Final Fantasy VII. The UI is so striking and memorable. There's even a synergy between it and the gameplay, as the UI will literally pulsate to the beat of the music. Hell, everything moves on the beat, which not only helps make these environments energetic, but it helps with the gameplay too. Hi-Fi Rush plays like your standard character action game. You move through a linear level, doing some light platforming, solving some basic puzzles, collecting items like money or pieces of an item that will upgrade your health, and doing combat. Combat features a standard light and heavy attack, as well as a dash that lets you dodge out of the way, a magnet that works like a grappling hook, the ability to call in partner characters to attack enemies or to act as a combo finisher, or a super attack that you can change in the store. The main gimmick that sets this system apart, however, is the rhythm of the world. Everything is done to the beat of the music. Enemies attack on the beat. Animations are paced to the beat. The environment moves to the beat. Everything is on the beat. By performing actions on said beat, you're rewarded with stronger attacks, faster and longer dodges, and a higher score in what is essentially just the Devil May Cry style meter. As someone who loves the idea of rhythm games but has never really played them much, I adore how this game plays. Everything just clicks and it results in some extremely satisfying moments. It's like one giant music video that makes you feel like a total badass. I will say some songs I found harder to get the feel for, making it harder to stay on the beat in certain levels or sections when compared to others. For instance, I ultimately performed worse on level 3 than I did on level 9, just because I couldn't figure out the rhythm. It does help that there are multiple ways to follow it, including a toggleable meter at the bottom of the screen, but it really all comes down to whether or not you can get the hang of the track. Oh, and all this goes without saying, but the music is great. The original songs made for the game are really catchy, while the licensed tracks that are saved for boss fights and certain set pieces are used perfectly. My only real complaint is the lack of genre variety. While I understand it's an action game and it needs to keep a certain tempo, I feel like there could be more genres explored in the OST. Everything is varying shades of rock. How about some funk, hip-hop, electronic, pop? 80s pop specifically, none of that modern garbage. Like I said, that's my only complaint with the music, but that doesn't mean I don't have more issues with Hi-Fi Rush. There's some very obvious cut corners made, with one specific moment around halfway through the game sticking out in my mind as being particularly deflating. And no, I don't mean the Xenogears reference. God, this game was made for me! Combat stays fun and fresh the entire time, but I was disappointed to find that there's only one move set throughout the entire game. While you can expand your combo list by buying new moves from the store, your only weapon is Chai's guitar. Meanwhile, I can see 3 potential movesets in the characters reserved exclusively for the partner system. Oh, okay, hold on. I just came up with a way to do the multiple other move sets while I was editing this. So, first, give each character unique music and tempos. For Peppermint, have her dual pistols be her light attack and her charge cannon be her heavy. Make her tempo faster than Chai so that you can fire her guns like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, dun, 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 like that, with each button press being her firing one pistol. Then have her heavy attack be like you have to hold it, you have to charge the cannon, so it'd be like doo, 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 like that. This sounds like nonsense. For Macaron, have his tempo be slower than Chai's, and his light and heavy attacks just be his fists. His light attacks can be at the pace of Chai's heavy attacks, so like doong, rest, while his heavy attacks can be slower than that, so like doong, rest, doong, rest. Of course, make his attacks hit heavier to balance things out. Finally, the third character, who I'm not gonna speak about in anything but vague terms because of gameplay spoilers, have their tempo be the same as Chai's. Make their light attack so you have to hit the button twice, so like doong doong, doong doong, maybe even throw a rest in between, so doong doong, rest, or something. For their heavy attacks, make it so it's less of a heavy attack and more of like an elemental trick attack that has unique properties, so like increased stun or something. Then have its tempo be the same as Chai's heavy, so doong, rest. Okay, enough mouth noises, back to the complaining mouth noises, sorry about this, I love a game when I'm literally in the middle of making a review, coming up with potential move lists. I love this game. I also question having to beat the game in order to replay missions. Character action games are all about replaying levels and getting better and better scores each time, but here you aren't allowed to do that until you've beaten the game. Another aspect of gameplay I'm not super crazy about is the chip system. After getting enough money, you can purchase chips that give passive buffs like shortening the cooldown timer for your partner. While it's certainly useful, I feel like not enough is really done with the system to warrant putting time into buying additional slots and upgrading your chips. But honestly, as I'm writing this, it's hitting me that all of my complaints with Hi-Fi Rush ultimately point to one conclusion. I really want a sequel to this game. The flaws are apparent, but they're frankly either surface level or due to a lack of time or budget. This is a fantastic first outing, and if they're able to make a sequel, I see nowhere else for them to go but up. And frankly, that's everything I gotta say about this game. It's amazing and I love it. Bit of a shorter video, but frankly this game was out of nowhere and I just wanted to gush about it ASAP. I'm hopping back on the P5R train very soon, I promise you guys. Now back to the survey. No pressure. There's no wrong answer except the one I don't like.
Well, in my opinion, it looks more like a comic book.
Who